Welcome again, everyone, to the next episode of the Foally of Man. My name is Chris, and with me here today,
Robert!
as if there's anyone else ever here. So,
It's only just ever the two of us.
Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. By different, I mean exactly the same. We're going to be looking at Fallout Equestria, a kind of combination side fic between Fallout and ponies.
My Little Pony in particular. Not just ponies in general.
Why does that be yours?
What do you mean?
Couldn't it be everybody's little pony?
Oh, right.
It's the people's pony.
Possessive Little Pony.
Yes, the people's pony.
So basically the crux of the show is Chris is a Brony, I'm not. And so we're talking about the fan fiction from that perspective. You like Fallout? I like Fallout. Hey, good morning. Yeah, alright. We've also got a live stream going on as well. So
Yes.
For those of you listening at home to the recorded version.
Yes.
So, but get with the times. Get on the live stream if you're listening to the podcast.
What is this, 2007?
I know, but please keep downloading. All
Do
right.
both. Okay.
Today we are covering Chapter 40, Sonic Rad Boom.
If you're feeling lonely and you're still searching for your true friends, just look up to the sky. Who knows? Maybe you are all looking at the same rainbow.
Why are there so many
Songs about rainbows.
Yes.
Bagel bites.
All right.
I've had those in a long time.
It's pretty random.
So we start off with a kind of a consistent theme in these later chapters is that Pip kind of goes back and explains the story thus far.
Bet you're wondering how I got in this predicament. Well, let me take you back a few chapters and we'll see. Sorry, freeze frame.
No. So
Common 80s movie tactic.
she also describes a little bit more about steel hooves. Not only here, but in this chapter as well. Consistently, kind of goes back on what happened.
Rip in peace.
So the actual events start kind of ramping into it after this.
Well, we should say where we last left off.
Well, yeah.
We watched Ditsy Do basically explode in a giant blast
of light.
of green energy right next to some raptors, some Enclave raptors.
Yes, large, aggressive vehicles of war.
And in fact, we assume in that last moment that she sets off the missiles that were trailing her, but it turns out her blast was so large that it sent the missiles tumbling back through the air, exploding into the ground, and I believe one of the raptors.
Yep. Also taking out the raptors in question. Yep. She had created a sonic rain boom, except for rain, it's rad, because everything in the wasteland's radiation, kids.
Sparkle Cola rad.
So it creates this powerful effect, which irradiates outwards.
And clears the skies.
Clears the skies, and just completely opens, everyone can see it.
Ain't no cloud cover anymore.
And she talks about how, hello Asen, hello kkat, talks about how that from far out, even as far out as for the remnants of Friendship City, they can see this sonic rad boom on the horizon.
Big. So think about it, in a week's time, you see an enormous explosion from a mega spell.
Yep.
And now you're seeing the skies literally being parted from a sonic rad boom.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's happening.
Yep.
The times, they are a-changing.
So Ditsy's body is falling from the sky, and Pip and a few others attempt to catch her along with Calamity, and they're kind of successful in the fact that she still hits like a sack of bricks.
Yeah.
But
Calamity's the one that actually catches her.
Mm-hmm, but they actually do prevent her from being a crumpled ball of what once a Pegasus.
The most interesting thing is...
What once was a Pegasus.
One of the beams of magical energy trying to catch Ditsy Do
is Silverbell.
Silverbells.
Okay.
Yeah, so she got her magic back. How Silverbell got her magic back. If Chris is doing a Z-snap, it's going to be a good episode.
Zebra snap.
So, no. A zebra clop. It's not really a snap. They don't snap. Yeah. Ooh, Zenith is getting sassy.
Okay, so now they carry the wounded Ditsy indoors, and as they do, they realize that the shocked Enclave are kind of rousing back up and start engaging in another fight.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, this fight is not over. There's still ponies to kill, so...
Part of Operation Cauterize was to remove the local populace that had known anything about the lies that the Enclave is spreading, including destroying New Appaloosa. Well, problem is that many in their ranks don't like the idea of killing innocent citizens, mothers, foals, all that kind of stuff. Not really a great idea.
Well, and then out of nowhere, Enclave citizens, not Enclave, but I guess Pegasus citizens show up.
Yeah, I guess technically they'd be Enclave citizens. Because the Enclave stands as more of a governmental structure and martial control.
Calamity actually explains their governmental structure in this chapter. But the Enclave is its own thing. You have to go join the Enclave.
Yeah.
Not everybody is the Enclave.
Yeah, it's weird. It's well explained in the chapter. It's just talking about it.
Well, it's interesting, too. Pip's only governmental structure she's ever seen was that of the Vault. One pony above all telling you what to do.
And technically old Equestria, which was very similar in conceptual design. There was no Senate, there was no Republic. It was just
It is interesting that Calamity states in this chapter, he's like, well, it's a great way to make sure nothing gets done.
There's a lot of...
Committees and subcommittees and representatives.
There's a lot of, like...
wait till my senator hears about this.
There's a lot of meta... there's a lot of kind of in and out of real world criticisms of governmental structures going on here.
Yeah.
So, interesting. So the entire thing turns into a shit show. Everything's going on. There's a whole bunch of different people fighting from all over.
There's infighting within the Enclave.
And fighting within the Enclave. And even though the Enclave technically has the numeric, strategic, and technological advantage here, because many of their own ranks are stopping this from occurring, it's causing there to just the whole thing to just end up being a massacre of all sides.
Well, and what's funny is that even when they do finally give in and retreat, they're still out for blood.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So the citizens of New Appaloosa are still firing on the retreating Enclave, and unfortunately, get one as they're flying away.
Yeah, but the thing is that with the last remaining raptor that's airborne, says this is I can't remember the name. This is the new commander of the Raptor. We are now initiating Operation Shutterflight.
Shutterflight, yeah.
Not Shutterfly, as it is written the first time in the book. But what that is literally them flighting and shuttering up the clouds in response to whatever threat is coming after them. Because thankfully for the side of the Enclave that does not want to kill off the citizens, they have a hierarchy of command, which states that the cloud cover is more important. And so they can fall behind the cloud cover being broken as a reason to retreat from that situation. Mm-hmm. As that is their one of their primary directives.
Yeah. It's also, if you think about it, the clouds are their livelihood.
Yeah, so you very clearly want to protect that first.
Yeah.
This is an interesting thing where, as the Raptors and various other Enclave personnel are firing down the energy weapon, they're firing plasma. And so there's these plasmatic fires that are taking the townspeople.
People are being trapped in them.
And they're burning to death, and Pip actually starts killing them as mercy killings because there's no way to save them.
Surprisingly enough, they're easy kills on the Pip Buck.
Yes.
In her, what's it, the eyes forward sparkle?
Yeah, the EFS.
Yeah, EFS.
All
headshots.
Yes. So let's see. While a little bit after the battle, they decide to move everyone indoors into Ditsy's absolutely
shop.
Everything shop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Pip...
Yes, I deliver.
Yes, we deliver. And, well, not anymore because the sign was destroyed.
That's right. Well, and her cart was destroyed.
Everything's destroyed. Well, she starts getting rather upset at some of the townspeople for giving Red Eye the bomb. And they're like, well, what the hell were we supposed to do? You want it to be here? And at the same time, we had to prove to Red Eye that we weren't going to act against it.
Yeah, we weren't siding with you. Yeah.
Yeah, because Red Eye was out to kid us for it.
Yeah.
And so they're like, and now you're with Red Eye, so that's okay now. It's like,
What? I beg your pardon?
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, during this, the Phoenix. Why am I blanking on... Pyrelight, thank you. Jeez. Pyrelight is basically resting directly on Ditsy Doo, trying to restore her. Because she's just oozing, ghoulish...
Bile
yeah.
and...
She's in a bad way. She's in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways.
We actually meet back up with some of the ponies from Fluttershy's cottage that they invaded with, because if you remember Fluttershy's cottage, they invaded with the help of some ponies who were big fans of the Wasteland Heroine, without realizing that little Pip was the Wasteland Heroine. And now they figured it out, and they're like, "Why didn't you tell us?" Yeah. She's like, "Because I didn't.
I was just doing what any other pony could do.
My ass."
Yeah. Just doing what any other pony would do. Going into the den of the most dangerous creature in the wasteland and setting off a mega spell. Balefire bomb.
Technically going into the lair of the most dangerous creature in the wasteland has several points in this story, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's escalation.
It's escalation.
It's also a relative sort of a thing.
Yeah. So, 2 Pegasi are actually left over after the battle, and they're kind of eyeing things about. And they're talking about the locals pretty much as insultingly as you possibly can, which is, to their face, talking about how they're backward, degenerate, cannibalistic.
Oh, we're poisoned. The air's poisoned.
Yes, and all of these mutated creatures are... that's why I haven't heard that before. Any of them haven't heard that before. So, Calamity starts going after them, and they start getting into a verbal confrontation. He does mention something interesting, is that they use I'm not going to say it's a birth lottery, but it is a birthing certificate program where you can only have so many children born. And I realize this actually opens up the realm for eugenics in the Pegasi ranks, because if the government has the ability to yield and belay the ability to have children, they can aim where that goes, and they can say, oh, if you're a military commander, you have more right to have children than somebody who is a donut.
There seems to be a lot of incentives in joining the military.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's true of any martial
because
society.
The only people who can become politicians have to serve in the Enclave.
Mm-hmm. And as well, the to become citizens, you have to have... to become citizens, you have to be, service guarantee citizenship.
Yeah, essentially.
Starship Troopers. I actually like that movie. I know you're kind of but I like that movie.
It had a time and a place.
Yeah.
I think they've made like 4 of them now.
There was only one. There was abortions that came afterwards, but there's only one.
Oh, I see. Again with the eugenics there.
Well, no, I was going for the Matrix thing. There's only one Matrix movie.
Oh, yeah,
and others.
Yeah, I only remember one.
Because the others are too boring to remember. Or badly done. So, talking earlier about the kind of chiding and commentary on the government.
Yeah, Tracker seems to have a tremendous amount of faith in the Enclave, even though he's just seen what they're capable of.
Yeah, and he says
we should also
they can't lie.
These are normal citizens. These are normal Pegasi citizens. In fact, one of them sacrifices themselves to protect citizens of New Appaloosa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess they live, but
yeah,
they take a bullet.
Yeah. They can't lie to us, Tracker stated in the voice you use to state basic facts to slow children. They're the government.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
You sweet summer child. For the good of the Enclave.
And then Pip has, a crisis. Basically falls apart, starts crying.
Yeah, well, see, this is something that's interesting.
I'm not even really a pony anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so even though, and she actually does cry a lot in this episode, especially about the steel hooves.
Women, am I right? You tug on their mane a little too hard, and there goes the wet works.
So, it's kind of, I was thinking about this, and this seems a little bit natural, like the way that the story progresses. with Steelho's death is a little, possibly more natural, even though it's written more poorly than it could have been. And the reason I say that is that during a time of great confrontation, great stress, when something catastrophic happens, you kind of say, okay, that's that. Bottle it up, put it on a shelf, put it on the back burner, something. You can't think about it right now. There's too much else going on. And the very second that everything slows down, you have a moment to process what's going on, and you're pretty much forced.
It catches up to you.
It catches up to you completely.
You're not allowed to process in the moment. You have to exist and survive in the stressful period. And it's not until that time passes that the weight of everything.
Yeah, so as far as the writing goes, yeah, I mean, it was very quick. It was very sudden, and it was very kind of in the moment, and then it was done. But from a recollective kind of perspective, it makes complete sense that's exactly how your thought process would go. You wouldn't think about it too much at the time. It would be very shocking, very immediate, but you would try to deal with what you were dealing with there. And then later on, it would just it would boil over and it would just flood onto you.
I hate to tell you, the only one who makes complete sense is the Institute.
The Institute is on this.
No, I know. But you said complete sense.
Well, technically, they're not complete. They're still missing that little bit of something. A little bit of humanity. So, as Calamity and the Enclave are fighting, and then all of the townsbonies are about to murder the shit out of the Enclave citizens who were there. It's like, wait, you're to blame for all of this.
Yeah.
You're their kind.
Yeah, a very sick ditzy-do
the
is
others
standing up in the doorway, essentially saying, get out.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Anyone who fights gets out. It has to get out. By the way, the healing stuff is free, but you have to be here. So don't get out if you want to heal.
Yeah.
Kind of
the other funny thing is that, Calamity needed some healing stuff, so he took them and then left caps on Ditsy's countertop. The mayor of New Appaloosa just came in and said, we're taking this.
Yeah.
And that really rubbed Pip the wrong way, because it's like, shouldn't you at least ask?
Oh, yeah, because, yeah.
Rather than abscond?
Well, because they've hated Ditsy-Do. I mean, the fact that she brings in an economy helps the town, but they
Well, she's not a slaver. They much prefer the slave money.
Well, you know your enemies. You don't know when the ghoul's going to attack, but you know exactly what the raiders are after, kind of thing. But that's why I can agree with him on that. However, he's still an asshole.
I'm starting to think that Ditsy can't become a feral ghoul, considering she became a glowing one, and that didn't drive her insane. Because there's no such thing as a normal glowing ghoul.
Yes, there is.
Where?
New Vegas. There was the I can't remember the name. Doesn't matter. Anyway, their leader was a glowing one.
Exceptions to the lore. Look for New Vegas. But there's actually plenty of that in Fallout 3 too. So.
Yeah. This is what's gonna happen. Yeah, Jason Bright. Hey, get his name's Bright. Okay. So we do actually.
There's no such thing as subtlety anymore. Just none. None. It wasn't even like Edison, and then you're like, oh, Edison, light bulb, bright. I get it. No, he's just bright.
He's just bright. So this is where we actually get the exposition dump on the Enclave and a whole bunch of Calamity explaining how their system works, how the structure works, everything about it. The glowing ghouls in Fallout 1 are all hostile. Yes. I don't remember if any of the ghouls at the power plant in Fallout 2 were glowing. They might have been, but I can't remember. So we go over the Enclave,
which we talked about their government structure.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. So
it's tiers of councils is essentially what it is. Your local council, your state council, and then your what do they call the high council? Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
Yeah. And then we finally have a revelation of Pip, what we've been talking about all along. Pip realizes that she has to be the one to put herself into the Single Pony Project.
And most importantly, she realizes a way to do that. Well, at least to use that to her advantage against those that are currently working. She doesn't give too much away, but she kind of hints at,
Yeah. How do you destroy the Enclave? You get rid of all the clouds. All the clouds. Gone. Guess what? Your crops? Gone. Your cities? Gone.
You're now reliant on the ground. Suck it.
Looks like the Pegasi have been grounded.
Yeah. The DJ comes in on the radio.
I do want to say your note says DJ Hot to Trot.
Yeah. DJ Hot to Trot.
Got it bad. I'm hot for DJ.
She comes in over the radio and starts explaining some things about Friendship City.
Yeah, and also that, that because of this broadcast, DJ Pony says, kind of reveals where she is.
Yeah.
Well, or he is, the persona. And he's like, and I realize I may have given away my position, but the Enclave would have already known my position.
Because they had their military flying here. However, it'll be good to note the Enclave that are currently busting into the room. This isn't a live recording.
This is a pre-recorded message.
And that little glowing blue light, that's my goodbye present. Goodbye!
And for the first time ever,
one of the towers comes down. Yeah. Quite. Not quite. I mean, I don't know. Sauron could have controlled the weather. It may have been. I don't know. I haven't read the books. I'm sure the Silmarillion probably goes into great depth into what kinds of weather he could have done.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
So
wild stuff.
Ditzy repair. This is after some time. Ditzy comes back and she does repair Little Pip's armor, free of charge, again. I think last time was free of charge too for saving her.
Well, but the justification is you're the savior of the wasteland and you're going to be wearing my design. That's the best advertising I can ever have.
As long as you live, I got my name on it.
That's right. So I want to make darn sure this is in good shape.
So God arrives as well, by the way, kind of trying to see what the hell is going on. Because part of her mercenary corps is here in the town. We glossed over it, but one of them is here.
And she talks about the town paying her protection money, and Pip's like, wait, they're paying her protection money, and she's actually honoring their contract.
Yeah.
Where you actually get protection.
Yep.
No, she says Gaudina's running a protection racket where she actually gives protection.
Hey, who'd have thought?
The Griffins honor the contract.
Yep. They are very, very strict to the contract.
It seems to be honor-bound kind of thing.
Similar to Sharon, I think was his name. Sharon in Fallout 3, where you get the contract from an underworld. Sharon being the ferryman who carries the souls. Chiron. Yeah. Who carries the souls over the river Styx. I still think God when I hear God. Yeah, I mean, that's the point. This joke is constantly made in the story, so of course you're going to think God is God.
A message from God, God's war, God's fighters.
God's children enter Cage and Reggie. I said, though I'm not sure on the Immaculate Conception. So, which actually also makes me wonder, who did God shack up with?
Yeah.
Who would shack up?
Well, Pip does a lot of thinking about that.
She does, actually, right afterwards. Pip the lecherous ponders the relationship with griffins. And
is there no creature safe from her
from her gaze? The mare gaze.
Ooh.
So, and Reggie even points out, oh my God, Pip has the hots for Mom. And
yeah, kind of calls her out on it.
Yeah, it's great. It's interesting. It's interesting that every hero needs a downside. Every single protagonist needs some kind of something to drive them down. It makes them more human. It makes them more connectable. You have to have something to constantly eat away at them. You can make them addicted to something, or you can make them rude. You can make them just quick to anger. Pip seems to be more of the lecherous kind now. She did have the drugs, but now she just seems to be exceptionally...
She's a sex addict.
She's a sex addict.
Yeah. When I hear this, I always think of Moroku from Inuyasha. So apparently for the first time in the book, somebody mentions needing to use the bathroom.
I feel like it may have come up before, but I'm not certain.
Yeah. Little Pip needs to pee.
Yep, she needs to pee.
Well,
what happens is Reggie says, oh, by the way, your boyfriend's outside. She's like, who? So she walks out, there's nobody there, and she's like, oh, okay, I gotta pee. So he goes over to the alleyway, and Watcher comes up right in the middle of her pissing and goes, hi!
In a Sprite bot.
It's like,
I should say.
God, dude, could you have waited?
Not a 200-year-old dragon shows up.
To be fair, I don't know exactly how a 200-year-old dragon goes, so that might be a bit of concern.
They piss diamonds.
Ow.
They piss diamonds.
Ow.
Even more upsetting, they eat them afterwards.
That's actually not as disturbing as the fact that you know it's like nothing but kidney stones forever. Ow.
Why do you think dragons are so grumpy?
That'd be a reason to be really pissed off. You either have to go, or you have things cutting your urethra all the way down.
Oh.
The worst part is they're actually cut diamonds. Okay. They're not just like lumps. They actually have the sharp edges and everything.
Yes.
Oh, piss anybody off. So Pip talks to her and it's like,
faceted for your pleasure.
By the way, Pip, I fucked up.
Big time.
Big time.
Remember those Enclave people? Yeah, they kind of know who you are, where you are, and can track your every movement now. And
not only that, but they think that you are the cause of all of their problems, which you technically are. But they realize that, so they're coming to kill you.
But see, he did it. He did it to protect.
Oh yeah.
It's not the Garden of Eden kit. What do they call it in this story?
The Gardens of Equestria.
Gardens of Equestria.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with him doing what he did. It's like, oh, by the way, they're going to have their most elite crack squad to come hunt you down personally.
The Wonderbolts.
Wonderbolts.
Yeah, the Wonderbolts.
Which is similar to New Vegas, where when you kind of pissed off one of the two factions enough, they'd start sending kill squads after you.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you just destroy them.
Yeah. You just take out an AM rifle and just zap.
So it was nice to hear from Watcher again.
Yeah. It explains what's going on.
But not for a good reason.
Not for a good reason. Which means she's now going to be hunted as soon as they get her her location tag off of a terminal she used very early in the story. Not quite Chekhov's gun, more of a Chekhov's turn behind and shoot behind you kind of thing.
So anyways, Pip tells Calamity what's going on. She's like, all right, I gotta go. Because like everywhere I go, they're in danger.
I could cut off my leg.
Well, Watcher even says, like, well, why don't you just take off your pip buck? That's how they're tracing you. And she holds it up to the thing, and he's like, oh!
He said nothing as intelligently as he could.
Yes.
So she actually says, I could cut it off. It'll probably actually grow back, you know.
That's one way to solve that problem.
Not the great way, but you know. What's the caloric intake of a human being, or I guess a pony, when they have to regrow a limb?
I don't know. That's a good question.
kkat,
answer in the comments. I don't know, 3,000 calories. How many apples do you need to eat to equal 3,000 calories? If Twilight Sparkle has 10 apples and Rainbow Dash needs 9 apples to regrow a limb, how many apples should Twilight Sparkle get?
Oh boy. So Pip tells Calamity. Calamity's like, no. I have a plan. He
Trust
says,
me.
Besides, I got myself a plan. Calamity grinned, poking my nose with a hoof. Trust me, little bait.
You know, that is what makes the most sense. If they think they have the upper hand on you and they're tracking your every movement, you can set the snare.
Yeah, you can set the trap.
Well, so the other thing is that we find out some of the members of the Wonderbolts. And Pip's like, you know, how
tech savvy.
I was gonna say, how good are these guys? How tech savvy are they? And it's like, oh, yeah, they're the best.
Yeah,
they're the best of the best.
They're the best that they could possibly be. Yeah.
And isn't one of them Calamity's other sibling?
Was, if I remember correctly. May still be, but I think he said that he elevated out of the position.
Gotcha.
So, which I mean is possible even for elite squads. You kind of get to the point where they're like, look, you need to move up in the military, so we got to put you somewhere. So now you get to go here. That kind of thing. Also, I did note as a mention of this chapter, Calamity plus plan equals what could possibly go wrong.
Especially when you got bait.
Yeah, Calamity's plan.
Somebody says wind shear.
Oh, wind shear. Okay.
Which makes some sense.
Synths. So
S and THs are hard for me. I don't know if it's my teeth or my southern twang.
It could be both.
It can be both.
So that was it for...
Hold on. What's that? Something's rapping upon my chamber door. Do you know who that might be?
No.
It's the pony pun of the week!
Why do you do this to me? This is abuse. Someone send help. Okay, Robert. What is the pony pun?
I'm just waiting for your Stockholm syndrome to set in for my Munchausen by proxy.
Oh God. So what is the pony pun of the week?
Christopher, the pony pun of the week is Manifest Destiny.
Manifest Destiny.
Equestria spread all across the world as it was Celestia given right. Manifest Destiny.
Manifest Destiny.
The good old Monroe Doctrine. Oh boy, we got a face hoof. Hey,
Woo!
there we go. All right, how about some questions?
Okay, we got 2 questions.
Only 2?
Only 2. I mean,
I was just making sure because there were a lot of comments.
There were a lot of comments, so I looked through. I could only find
right.
2. If you want me to go back through, I can. That's going to leave a mark.
No, I'm sure. And if you have any questions right now, please let us know, because now's the time for questions. But let's go ahead and start. We have a question from
kkat, who asks, question, have you gleaned what Apple Snack's recreational sport of choice was?
No. I don't remember. Is it something that's been referenced?
I actually have no idea. Recreational sport of choice.
I feel like this is something that was mentioned, like something just hidden.
Yeah.
Or something there. Or something in his shack.
Yeah, I'm probably looking way too deeply into something that was really obvious and in the chapter and very, very, very obvious, but I just can't think it. So I'm just going to go with checkers.
Checkers?
I'm going to go with checkers.
I don't know. Bobbing for apples.
Oh, God. Oh. I can't believe you said that. Bobbing for apples. Would another term for that be apple-ingus?
What's he doing to apples?
Oh, Robert, that's both horrible and brilliant. I don't think he realized what he said until I pointed out to him that that's what he said. But yes. Okay, I guarantee you that's going to be his new recreational sport of choice before whatever was hinted in the chapter.
Oh, God. That's too good. kkat says it's hinted in the details.
Yeah, of the chapter. Probably, I'm afraid yeah, it's not going to be there. It's going to be in the actual details of the chapter.
I don't know. Just tell us.
Yeah, you might as well.
I was going to say, speak now or forever hold your peace. I will say, Wasson says, who do you think would win, Red Eye's army or the Enclave in a head-on battle?
Enclave.
Yeah.
Easily. Last week, Robert pointed out that Steelhouse Shack had to be the Steelhouse Shack back before it was the war.
I did.
You did?
Yeah. I don't know how that says what his favorite sport would be.
It really doesn't. I'm so confused. I mean, it's a love shack? Because then...
Wait a minute. I'm just wondering, is the tin roof rusted?
Ow. Kika asked a second question as well. What do you think of the song Iron by Woodkid?
This is a song you sent me late last night and said, do you get the meaning? Do you get the meaning? And I'm like, I mean, it's a song about war and this, I mean, so, no, I mean, I like the song.
The shack is in the suburbs, sitting at the edge of lake, surrounded by grassy hills with anomalous patches of sand. Oh, he's golfing! He likes golf. Hey, I would have never picked that up. How would golf work for a horse?
You've got me. There's all sorts of things that horses do in this story that make no GD sense to me.
I mean, I get the whole, mouth thing, but what's the follow-through on that stroke? Yeah, it's like, but how would that... Like,
no, in his armor, he uses a cannon.
Yeah, he just loads the...
The grenade launcher.
Yeah, with golf balls. So Iron, Listening to it and actually seeing the lyrics, it was very obviously about steel hooves. Talking about how he's still marching on for the war, how he hears the bombs in the distance, how he still hears the drums going on, how he's a million miles away but still moving away.
So wait, was this a song done by fans?
No.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know. I mean, it could have been. But no, it's very reminiscent of steel hooves in that regard.
Yeah. Somebody in the war.
Yeah, especially a million miles away and walking away. It's like he's 200 years away from his home, and he's only going to be moving farther away.
Very astute.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is when kkat says, "No, you're absolutely wrong. It is completely not that."
This is about Velvet Remedy. What the hell's wrong with you? God, where did you glean that from?
It's obviously a cabaret song. Steel hooves and a tight little number up there doing a little dance.
Okay, let me look back and make sure that we have all of our listener inputs.
I'm sure we do.
I don't think we do. I'm going to go back and I'm going to make sure we do, because you know what?
We're going to make damn certain that we have them all there. Good old dead air.
Yeah. Well, you could sing do a little ditty for our fans at home.
Yeah, just put a little shimmy on, give them the old razzle dazzle.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Smliff says no, so out of deference to Smliff.
Okay, yeah, so that was all the comments that I actually had. I first heard Iron while writing FOE, and I knew immediately that I had found the inspiration for all of the music on Enclave Radio.
You're listening in to Enclave Radio, the sounds of the wasteland being destroyed from above.
Yes. So yeah, that was chapter 40.
How many more chapters do we have?
If I remember, there's 53 chapters.
Okay.
52, 53. So,
and several of those will probably have to be broken into
multiple parts.
We're getting so close, y'all. You've hung on for so long. I can't believe we've done 41 episodes of this. I can't believe we got through 41 episodes of it, but I can't believe y'all have watched and listened to 41 episodes of us go through this. What's wrong with you?
There are 45 chapters plus the epilogue and afterwards.
Whoa, we're getting close.
Yeah.
Getting real close.
Pancakes are quite delicious, so you agree?
Yes, I agree. Pancakes are quite delicious.
I agree with that statement, but I mean, are we implying something? Chapter 43 and 44 are Largo, but you'll probably...
Large Marge.
You'll probably read through... You'll probably listen to the whole dang thing in one sitting.
If people listen to an hour-long episode...
I mean, I'm going to be honest, he actually contacted me Tuesday and was like, okay, finished. It's like, you already finished?
We could record these sooner if Chris wasn't so, busy, being such a metropolitan guy.
If I didn't have work.
A job.
Responsibility.
Chlamydia.
No. And on that note...
That's hearsay. Wait. If you'd like to follow us elsewhere, please check us out on Twitter at CriscoCast. Email us at cbpbch@gmail.com. Check out the Facebook page, Chrisco Industries. And if you're listening to us, check us out on youtube.com/CriscoBrandBiscuits. If you are watching us, please subscribe to the podcast on thefoallyofman.libsyn.com, which you can find on the Google Play and iTunes music stores, respectively. After you.
On that note, good night, or afternoon, or morning.
Whatever time it is for you, have a good one.
Technically, it's all times the day at once, because, the whole Earth being a sphere.
But it's not a perfect sphere. Yes, there you go. Now you got it. Well, so I'm Robert.
I'm Chris.
And this has been the Foally of Man. And, bye. I think we're going to do a live stream in a bit, so we'll see you then.